Welcome back to Private Practice Lounge. I wanted to do a really quick short snippet on a very important thing that I just covered in my one-on-one business coaching with a therapist. What came up was I met her this summer. She attended a networking event that I hosted at a restaurant. She ended up hiring me to work with her one-on-one as well as purchase my signature program, Private Practice Blueprint, which is my exact blueprint from opening, scaling, marketing a private practice successfully. It's my own blueprint that I created after many years of trying to figure everything out on my own. Anyway, so one of the things that she was inspired by was that she said that after we met, she decided, even though she wasn't a fan of social media for her practice, because we are taught and trained to be very private and very personal. Disclosure, I did not have Facebook or Instagram or anything until a few years ago when I really started learning about marketing, business, and what it takes to really grow your business and to expand, how to market correctly, which is very different than just being a clinician. You're a business owner. And she took the leap, and I'm so proud that she did, and she jumped on TikTok. And I said, okay, is your ICA on TikTok? And she thought about it for a second, and she stayed quiet. She goes, damn it, I know what you're going to say. And I said, okay, is your ICA on TikTok? And she goes, no, my ICA is on Facebook. She said, but I hate Facebook. I said, okay, so here's the thing. I'm glad you're showing up. Don't waste your time on TikTok. If you're not a fan of Facebook, I understand. I'm not forcing you to be on it. But if you're willing to take the leap and choose something, you might as well choose to create a platform, content driven for your client, your ICA, where you know that ICA is spending time. Because if your ICA is not on TikTok, what are you doing there? If your ICA doesn't listen to podcasts, what are you doing there? If your ICA is not on YouTube, what are you doing there? You really have to be clear and concise with your ICA and where they're spending time. That is why it is so specific and important to know who your ICA is and what your niche is. So lesson number one is make sure that you are showing up where your ICA spends time. Tip number two is the content you're creating. Is the content you're creating for your ICA, or are you just creating content to create content? Clarification. A lot of us, especially when we're starting off, end up creating content just to create content because we just want to offer and we don't know where to start. We go back to being super clear on your ICA and your niche, and you want to offer value. You want to offer tips. You want to make sure you're showing up as the expert that you want to create. You want to show up and become that expert in that area of where your ICA is going to be looking. So, for example, if you want to work with men that are single, even though you have a lot of training and experience working with single moms and boundaries, well, you're offering great tips, but there's going to be a disconnect between what you're offering and who that's for, and then who you want to work with and what they need. I'm going to say that again. If there's a disconnect between your ICA, where you're showing up, and the content you're creating, that is where your business is not growing and not flourishing. You need to make sure you're clear on your ICA, you know where they're showing up, and then you're going to create value content for your ICA that is specific to the ICA you want to work with. If not, you're going to draw in the incorrect ICA. You're going to draw in the person that is going to resonate with the content you're creating. So just because you know something doesn't mean that that's what you should be sharing if that is not the person you want to work with. Hope this helps.